A new Pokemon reveal through merchandise. We've been here before, and I guess we're doing it again with Pokemon Sword and Shield. PokeShopper update, a brand new lineup of official Pokemon Center Sword and Shield merchandise has now been added, and there is some really cool stuff. We have the Rotom phone case, we got the Pokemon Sword and Shield game card holder, we have the official Galar League jersey. Please come to America, I want to buy that so bad. But also, we have a blanket of Leon's cape, and inside of it, it appears to be a new Pokemon right there at the top. And the crazy thing is, we're going to talk about him in a second, but I want to talk about Leon's cape, because we've seen the cape, but we haven't seen the full cape, and that's so weird because there's already new Pokemon on Leon's cape. We have this little guy right here, which appears to be Corviknight's pre-evolution. Now, Corviknight's pre-evolution has kind of already been confirmed through the data mine of this website, because this website has Corviknight listed as the Regional Bird 3, which means final stage. And also, if we look at Magnolia's Cane and some other things on the website, we can see that, yeah, Regional Bird, that looks to be the first stage, but we only know of this logo, and we haven't seen the Pokemon yet, which is so crazy. Like, Pokemon Sword and Shield, out in 2 weeks. We still don't know about Greedent, we still don't know about Skwovet, Yamper's evolution, which has also just been there from the start. I can't believe they pulled that off. That for like one frame in the first trailer, we see this, and then we've been getting better logos and graphics of it. Still no reveal. I thought we would have seen him long before. Impidimp still hasn't been officially acknowledged. So there's a lot of Pokemon on the table, with a lot of Pokemon not being revealed, and then 90-minute game reviewers saying that this might have more new Pokemon than any other Pokemon game, or at least over 100, rivaling many other Pokemon games, just with how many new Pokemon are spotted in the initial moments of the game. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Also, if we go to one of the trailers, Leon's reveal was really cool, but we only see him from the front. Like, if that was like from behind, and then he like turns around or something, we might have already been talking about this, but I don't think there's actually been a full view of Leon's cape quite like this. And then that begs the question, what is that guy? Because that looks weird. Now, it looks like an anthropomorphized Rockruff, but not really, because like the cheeks are too fat. So it seems like a chipmunk rodent kind of Pokemon, but the ears look very similar, as well as the color palette and everything like that. So that's kind of weird. But we know what we're looking for. We've still been waiting for these guys, going back to the only confirmed leaks that we know about. Skwovet, Greedent are chipmunk Pokemon who will hide in berry trees and attack randomly if you shake for too many berries. If they attack, you lose half the berries that dropped. Now, these being kind of like Crabrawler and stuff and being focused around berries also makes sense. Definitely going to have the cheek pouch ability. It's one of the regional rodent Pokemon. I think this makes a lot of sense. Because if you just kind of make, you know, it looks like it's advertising for some kind of pharmacy, or maybe like some kind of juice drink and throwing up a little thumbs up or something. So if it's using berries to make beneficial supplements, that actually seems like a reasonable kind of mascot. But the question is, which one is it? Is it the evolution? It looks evolution. I guess if you're just going to take the final stage and turn it into a mascot, that makes a bit more sense. But we've already kind of seen this because of the kid's shirt that goes back to June. And that definitely looks like a chipmunky squirrel kind of Pokemon. Is that the pre-evolution? I mean, can't really tell at this point. And how does that relate to this guy? Now we don't know the actual colors of the Pokemon. Just having like some kind of black and yellow logo makes sense. The patterns kind of look the same. But the thing is, it's so small. It's really too small to tell because like this is the resolution that we effectively get, and you have to blow it up and then hope it scales right, so we're losing a lot of details that could tell us what this thing is. And then I wanted to double check just to make sure that it wasn't Rockruff, but the tail is definitely different. Rockruff has a white poofy tail. This one seems to have like a spike on it, and I think that actually looks a lot more similar to what we have on this kid's shirt because it has like little spiky design right there. So yeah, Skwovet or Greedent. Now we actually get to see a bit more of it, all blurry and stuff, and maybe the colors. And I'm guessing it's going to be the second stage, or first stage, which is technically the second Pokemon, because TCG, basic, first stage, second stage, is confusing like that. And then if we kind of go to Pokejobs, which I pulled up over here, you know, we do have existing Pokemon. We have Wailord down here. We also have Clink, and then a couple of other Pokemon, like Hoot, that's on Well, I mean, there's just all kinds of Pokemon. We've seen the Hoot Hoot for the library. We've also seen Pelipper. So a lot of existing Pokemon, but also new Pokemon are part of the logos. Just want to make sure we weren't, like, overlooking into it. But that definitely seems like something new. Lines up with the leaks. Lines up with the theme. And I guess we just kind of get to see where it goes from there. Other than that, a lot of news that has been blowing up recently is that Toby Fox actually composing inside of Pokemon Sword and Shield. We know that he made the soundtrack for Town, and when people were telling me, or Little Town Hero is what it ended up being called, and when people were saying like, yo, Toby Fox in Pokemon Sword and Shield, my first thought was, you guys are confused. He's just working for Game Freak under Town. But no, I'm finally allowed to announce this. I was asked to compose a track for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Huge honor to be asked to be a part of something like this. I hope you enjoy hearing it when the games come out. And I think this just really tells you that you can achieve anything that you set out to do. Toby Fox made an indie game. It blew up into like the biggest indie game ever, and with one of the most cult followings, to the point that other game developers loved it. So we can actually get the breakdown of what happened here, as well as the music. I don't want to play it for copyright. You can find that in the description down below. It's a banger, and it definitely sounds like Toby Fox making a Pokemon, like, track, which is pretty cool. So Toby Fox on how his music ended up in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Hey everyone, Toby Fox, have you heard of me before? Well, that's because I just said my name. Jokes aside, aren't you interested in how all of this happened? Yes. Once upon a time, I created an RPG game called Undertale. For one reason or another, seems a lot of people from Game Freak ended up becoming fans of the game. So that's all you have to do. You just have to make something popular to where your heroes and icons and idols end up playing it and getting acknowledgement from that. That also happens like a lot in the YouTube sphere. You know, if you just make like a fun project, you don't have to dedicate it to someone. They just have to stumble into it and enjoy it, and then eventually the connections can form. But you do have to be proactive. One day, I noticed Go Ichinose-san, one of the composers for Pokemon, was following me on Twitter. That's how you know you've made it, when another famous... And you also have to know what's going on, so he knows the composers from Pokemon games. I guess that means he's also taken inspiration from them, or at least has a deep respect for everything going on. So I messaged him out of the blue one day. Eventually, we became friends, and I was able to meet many other people from Game Freak too. After eating sukiyaki with members of the company one day, we went to a cafe. There, I ordered a bottled green tea and selfishly, randomly asked if I can make a song for Pokemon someday. You gotta be bold. I mean, that also kind of happened, like James Turner, I think in the IGN interviews, he talked about how he ended up getting hired at Game Freak, and he was the first non-Japanese person to work for Game Freak. Now, he did work for one of the sub-developers, which I'm blanking on the names, but he also did designs and work for other spin-off Pokemon games. Genius Sonority, that was who James Turner worked for. But eventually, like, yeah, you can just kind of make it. And in one of the Game Informer interviews, he did give advice on how to work for Game Freak one day, which is kind of the dream. So yeah, they said yes, right there in the cafe. They immediately told me a concept of a song I could make. It's like they were waiting for him to ask. And if not, they were just going to be like, hey, so do you want to make something for a new Pokemon game? But if he asked, they're like, okay, here's what you gotta do. Here's what we got. As I walked home, my heart was burning with inspiration. A melody entered my head, and as I stumbled past Cellarman in the dark, I sang it to myself over and over so I wouldn't forget it. In the end, that song became the song you hear in the game. It's a fierce track of explosive power. I want to show the energy and passion I felt when asked to create a song for Pokemon. Let's get wild, baby. Wait a second, it's the only song I made? Okay. And you can't hear until you beat the complete game, so make sure you enjoy Game Freak's music properly first, okay? They worked so hard on making it. Don't rush through the whole game just to hear my song. No one would actually ever do that. I gotta say, there's probably one person out there. Now, we can hear some of it, but I guess that's not most of it. And it does sound like an in-game track. I'm guessing it's going to be something from the battle facility or whatever post-game shenanigans. Or maybe it becomes a selectable track in the battle stadium. It's not the battle spot anymore, it's the battle stadium. So yeah, that was another thing, like with the Pokemon Sun and Moon, you can select the tracks of the music you want to hear for whenever you're doing an online battle. So maybe that's going to be one of the tracks. It was included in the Pokemon Secret Clubs, that's how we found out about this, and apparently it's dedicated to Yamper. So yeah, this goes without saying, but it's a huge honor to be allowed to make music for Game Freak. So happy, thankful I was allowed to do this. Please look forward to the song, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Yamper Yam Yam. If you like it, let Game Freak know. Just hire the man already. You know, let him work on his little side projects like Deltarune and other games and stuff. But then just hire this man as a composer, and then we'll get to hear him forever. Get him on some spin-off games. I don't know. It's a banger. So if you like it, please let Game Freak know. They might treat me to Sukiyaki again. No one would ever actually do that. I love this man's humor. Everyone's loving Toby Fox. And Just kind of shows, you know, do what you love and your rewards can be incredible, and then you can make all of your dreams come true. So that's some pretty cool stuff, and Pokemon news is just on fire right now. We got that new awesome trailer from something. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Do you think this is a new Pokemon? Like, it has to be. It has to be at this point. It definitely has, like, it has to be. So we're going to see how that ends up coming together. It's going to be a silly design, but we're going to see more of it at some point. I don't think anyone's, like, noticed that or broken it down or really paid attention. Because, like, have we really not seen the complete back of Leon's cape through any of the trailers? It might have happened, like, quickly. People might not have been paying attention. People might have already, like, understood, like, oh, yeah, we already know everything. There's not going to be anything new hiding right there. Or maybe it really is. It really be that way. So Pokemon Sword and Shield's crazy like that. Tons of Pokemon hiding in plain sight, and we still don't even know the half of it. But the games are coming out in 2 weeks, so I guess it's going to be pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.